on, everyone? I hope you're having a great day. We're going to talk about ego today and how to destroy ego. I'm going to give you some examples with regards to lifting, and then we're going to get into some life stuff and all those talks. But first of all, I figured I'd open up this vlog with my hair out just because I did it in a video a while back, and this is just to give everyone an update. This is how long this has gotten, and it's pretty crazy because if I just take it and tie it up, boom. What's up, everyone? So the basis of ego is where someone will develop a personal identity with, it could be with anything really, it could be with what you wear, your clothing, and how you dress yourself when you wake up in the morning. You've now become personally identified with this. It could be based on an opinion. You could be arguing with someone and you just firmly believe in your opinion to the point where you completely block out everything else that's coming in, be it the opinion of the other person you're debating with, or any other facts or information. It can't come into your picture because you're just so shaded by ego. And that really means that you take such a firm stance belief in your opinion that you're ready to just argue it till the end of the earth. So ego can come in many forms. It can even come with your physicality, like how you physically look. A lot of people, they can start working out, exercising, they get really jacked and beefy and tanned and all that stuff. And then they start to develop this identity for that, right? It can come for strength and powerlifting and training in general. You can start to develop these egos based on what you do or who you are. Now, that's really what it comes down to, is how are you defining who you are? Because now who you are is we can go really in depth with that. Now, who you truly are is devoid of ego. Who you truly are doesn't give two shits about what you wear, your opinion, your physique. Who you truly are is limitless, boundless. You're creative, you're free. But when you develop an ego, your ego starts to say, hey, no, I'm not limitless, boundless, this and free. I'm such and such Jane Doe that is a fashion designer and works here for this company and likes to go jogging. Like, no, that's not who you are. These are things you do. These are things about you, you know? They're not the person that you truly are deep inside. So a lot of people tend to develop this ego, this self-identification, and then they just kind of like go about their lives with just that. They don't look inwards enough, and meanwhile they are beyond just using their own ego and projecting that outwards. They are recognizing ego in others and responding to that. And that's typically just that person's own ego. So it's almost the same as if someone was to walk up to me down the street and be like, hey, you, man, you got long hair, fuck you. And then I'd be like, whoa, dude, no, long hair's awesome, something, screw you too. And then my heart rate goes up and I start getting all upset about what's being said and shit. It's like, that is ego. That whole situation is ego. First of all, the person making that comment is doing so from a place of ego, and then my reaction to it is also coming from a place of ego. So the point is to become less identified with such minuscule, stupid little things. If someone said that to me as I was walking down the street, I would crack up laughing, and the most that would come out of that is my own joy and bliss, because I think that's damn well hilarious. Personally, I don't identify with this long hair, this look. People call it like a man bun or whatever. Man, I did this haircut like 15 or more years ago. It wasn't called anything back then. I just decided to redo it a few years back, and then all of a sudden there's this trend and this identity and everything for it wrapping around it. It's like, no, this is just something you do. It's just something like wearing a baseball hat. Are you going to be identified with that baseball hat? Now, a lot of people will. They'll identify with that brand, with that league, with that team. They'll fight and defend opinions based around that till the end of the earth. So now they've attached themselves to a larger egoic entity of that organization, of that football team, of that government, of that state, of that religion. People get too wrapped up in these things. These are all just boxes and restrictions and confines. And honestly, you're bigger than these things. You're bigger than those boxes. You should be bursting through them because you are limitless, pure potentiality. And these things are only constructs. So I'd like to talk about actually a training session I had. It was yesterday. It was volume day on the Texas method. And I had to do 5 sets of 5 on squats. Now, I honestly was not feeling in the mood for training. I woke up and I had like a little shoulder impingement going on. I just felt tired, lethargic. I didn't really feel up for the workout. Now, before going in, I had so many debates with myself of, should I work out today? Should I train? Should I just skip the day and move it along or do whatever I got to do? And I actually identified this as ego, because deep down inside, I truly know I can go and train. And I basically avoid letting something like this hold me down, hold me back, by use of the willpower. And this is very important in squenching and crushing and destroying ego. It's done with the use of the will. Now, I didn't feel like training, but I simply went in there, picked up the bar, and started squatting. Rep, 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 worked up, got to my working sets, did the 5x5, and actually after that, here's where you can make little compromises. I was so tired after doing those physically that I just pushed my bench press to today. So I'm actually going to be going and doing bench press 5x5 today, which as long as I'm getting my weekly volume in, it's completely acceptable. So what I did want to talk about today is lifting in relation to ego. Now, when you use your willpower to enforce or enact certain activities, such as going and training, working out, exercising, you are crushing ego. Your ego wants you to sit on the couch. It wants you to watch some garbage TV programming while you pop some crappy food into your mouth and do nothing but gain weight and slowly watch yourself deteriorate without even realizing it. Now, if you say to yourself, hells no, I'm going to get up and I'm going to train and I'm going to kick life in the ass, that is where you're establishing your willpower and you're utilizing it to execute your desires. That's something that I think is very important, because while I was lifting yesterday, a lot of my sets, even during the repetitions, I thought to myself, you're going to fail this rep. You don't feel that strong right now. This isn't coming back up. And honestly, the weight that I was handling, it's just a volume day. It's like 65% or something like that of my total max. So these are all just mental constructs that my ego at the time, due to my lethargia or my lack of energy, my ego was trying to enforce and establish on me. And here's where I say, no, screw that, screw you to myself, and we're gonna get this shit done. And you know what? I pushed through it, got my reps in, finished the workout, and I did get it done. And after that happens, you look back on what you've accomplished, and you look your ego right in the quote-unquote eye, and you say, ha, I did it. Now what? And you realized at that point you've silenced the ego. You've destroyed it. You've left it with no debates, no arguments, nothing, no rebuttal to come back at you with. And that's what the ego does. It tends to come up with rebuttals. It tends to come up with clever little arguments about why you should or shouldn't do something, or why you should or shouldn't debate a certain topic or argue with a certain person. If you want to truly let the ego die, you should establish willpower to execute your desires. And your desires, and not in the sense of like, oh, I want to go eat a cake, I'm going to use my willpower to do so. Your desires for the greater good. And really feel this out to understand what that means for you. Because it can mean many things for many people, but you need to understand and feel the situation to know what's for your greater good. In addition to that, you can also squench and destroy ego by letting it die in every moment. The second you feel a judgment or cast a judgment, be it in a conversation, an argument, be it just walking down the street. If I see some guy walking, I don't know, let's say this guy looks sketchy or whatever. The second I cast that judgment on him, this is ego. This is my ego recognizing his ego, and we're saying hi to each other. That's not healthy. So immediately crush judgment. If it's in a conversation or an argument with someone, if you have opposing opinions, let your ego die then. Stop the argument. Don't have the last word. Let them have it, because you're bigger than it, you're greater than it, and you're beyond it. Same goes for competitions and things like that. As long as you're going in with your best efforts, don't be too concerned about winning. Let others win. Sink to the lowest place, and that will allow you to rise above. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Thanks for watching as always. I hope you enjoyed this video and its mix and match with some training. And I'll see you again in the next session or the next vlog or whatever it may be. And take it easy.